it is really nice to see the oil sand industry go through this transformation and make this progress. And Exergy is in the business of trying to make quicker progress, so trying to accelerate the path of innovation. And we're gonna share some methods on how we've been approaching that. So I'll just go into sharing my screen here. How does that look? All right. So our goal is to create a new energy future. So at Exergy, we apply many different disruptive technologies, and we're believers that kind of disruption fuels disruption. And there's a real willingness to really change the industry. With the right tools, you can move a little quicker. I'm going to give some examples of that. So we have a saying at Exergy, we call it new tools, new rules. Essentially what that means is, if you were to compare to other disruptions out there that maybe people are more familiar with, like how Amazon has disrupted the supply chain, how Uber has disrupted transportation, and really technology fuels technological advancement. So what we've been doing at Exergy here is looking at really reinventing how we innovate and applying some of these very unique methods that are emerging in society and finding ways to basically perform engineering faster. We have three main business lines that really, they all coexist in an ecosystem that they all complement each other. They work individually or they work together. The first one being Agile engineering. And what this is about is really looking at the culture and the project management methods to move faster. Advanced manufacturing, in particular additive manufacturing. We're Western Canada's largest additive provider, and we've been really applying this to prototype faster and to build solutions and pilot plants for the energy sector. And then digital solutions being things like augmented reality, virtual reality, allows us to reduce travel, but also to get into model reviews and virtual reality and get people collaborating, because remote workforce is kind of a trend here now, people working from different locations. So the Agile engineering pillar is really about looking at traditional project management methods and looking at new ways of doing this. So traditional would be more what people are familiar with, like a Gantt chart. And typically with a Gantt chart, you already planned out the execution of everything you're going to do as you're doing innovation. And many innovators know that you learn through failure, you learn through trying. Things like terms like minimal viable product, fail fast, fail cheap. It's all about trying things. I have a belief, like when we're children, we're constantly playing, and parents are looking at children playing in the sandbox, and they're little Billy has learned so much in the last year, and he's growing. Well, their brains are like sponges, but as you get older, you got to find a way to make work look like play, and that's how you really learn. The other piece around advanced and additive manufacturing is really taking. It's just a beautiful thing when you can come into work, work on an idea with somebody, put it into a 3D model, and then the next day it's sitting there coming out of a 3D printer. So we operate a pretty extensive fleet of commercial plastic and metal printers, and this has been a real linchpin for Exergy and some of the oil sands collaborators to drive quicker progress, because really you're starting to work in a world of where things can create it almost instantly. And the other third pillar is around digital solutions. There's so many applications here. I'm just going to touch a bit on the remote worker. I think this is essential to today's world, where people have to stay home or people are restricted for travel. Basically, you can have somebody out in the plant site or at the pilot plant and working right closely with them to real time to make the progress and run a smooth and safe operation. Now how we pull this all together, I'm sure you're familiar with TRL levels, technology readiness levels, and essentially we try to get fundamental research that comes out of academic institutions, innovators, inventors, and try and accelerate the path to commercialization. So you can see on the right, we talk about commercial scale. And everything in green is kind of the methodologies and the services that Exergy offers to really move faster with innovation. So from technology de-risking to 3D printing, creating pilot plants, really moving through the TRL levels as quickly as possible. And you can see how this kind of all pieces together. This is a kind of an example. I always felt that Alberta and Canada in general, we're basically very pioneering. There's a very pioneering spirit in the region. And just last year, when the pandemic hit back in March, things were going really poorly in some of the major centers. There was a lot of talk about a ventilator shortage. So Exergy jumped in and collaborated with like over a dozen companies and Alberta Health Services. And I know this is not an energy project, but basically we built, got approval and built 200 ventilators in 100 days. And that's pretty amazing for a group of people that are used to playing in the energy sector. So this was new space, but it was really fun to rise to the occasion and help society at a time of need. So I'm just going to talk about one specific example because I think it really kind of flanges up well with what Wes was talking about in aligning with COSIA's mandate. So one good example is really collaboration of energy majors, and this is in the space of non-aqueous extraction. So this is a technology that has the potential to cut energy intensity by as much as 30%. It essentially eliminates tailings ponds. It virtually eliminates the need for water and allows us to reclaim the land in real time. So it's funny because it's a technology that actually aligns with all 4 pillars of COSIA's model, and which is great, and trying to drive forward a better future for the energy and oil sands sector. Just wanted to thank the consortium of people in NGen. We've been working together with Suncor, Precision ADM, and really trying to drive better outcomes and reducing the environmental impact. And we can't really do this without the support of being backed by such great partners is a nice spot to be in. Future opportunities, the sky is the limit. Every buzzword out there around CO2 capture to making hydrogen, geothermal, batteries, partial upgrading, value chain optimization. This is just the space that we play in, and I think this makes it for a really exciting future. Lots of opportunity to drive innovation. So thanks for your time. You can see my contact information here.